Hey everybody, it is Tim Untethered, and welcome to a special episode of Dweller Talk, Skooliepalooza edition, I think. This isn't technically a school bus, but it's a bus nonetheless.
Yeah, we're in that weird.
You have the bus doors. I think that all that qualifies.
Well, listen, just to let you know, this is entirely self-serving because I saw these folks online and I just said I want to be their friends. So we'll be right back and you'll find out why. So see you in just a second. Well, welcome back. I am here with Wanderboom. And I've heard you say, I was talking to Badge, and Badge says, he keeps telling me it's Wanderboom, and I say Wanderboom, and I can't figure, what is he talking about?
Yeah, it's Wander. Well, my name is Vanderboom, Vanderboom, and so we changed the V to a W for the YouTube thing, and so it is Wanderboom. And that's what our YouTube channel, Wanderboom, and then wanderbooming on Instagram. But he likes, with the woodworking skills and all that, he's like, he's a wonder, so he says Wanderboom. He always says Wanderboom. Yeah, so just like he calls
Canadian.
Yeah, like he calls decals decals and
it's a thing.
And he doesn't ask permission, so you never know what's going to happen.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Never ask permission.
Well, this is Eric. And this is Robbyn.
Hello.
And you've been on the road now for about a year and a half. Is that about right?
Almost a year and a half. Yeah.
Almost 17 months.
Yeah, Labor Day.
We figured out.
Labor Day of 2018.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah.
So you're young, vibrant. You have all this energy.
Sure.
You're entirely creative. I've seen your work, and we'll get to that in a second. Why the heck did you do this?
It was boredom. I honestly believe it was boredom.
Yeah.
Because we were in a good place. We had a comfortable living. We could have continued that comfortable living. We could have done what we kept doing, and we would have been fine. We would have a retirement, and I mean, it would have all been fine. But we were really bored.
Yeah, and I think we kind of realized it when we went to Europe. We had a kind of a family trip of a lifetime. We came into we had a little bit of money, so we let's do this.
Take that trip, yeah.
Yeah, so we went to France and we went to Spain for a little bit, and we just it was just like, wait a minute, where's everybody? It's 2:00 in the afternoon. What's going on?
Why is
everyone
working?
Apparently.
Why is everyone working and with sweat on their brow?
Just the incredible laid back, positive attitude everybody had, and just it just was like, why are we beating ourselves to death? Trying to do these jobs that are killing us. And for me, not the greatest pay, but and
it's not about hard work or not hard work, because some people are like, oh, well, you don't want to work hard. It's not about that. I mean, Eric gives his time away and works really hard. So it really doesn't have anything to do with that, I think. It's more about experience.
Yeah.
You have a certain amount of time left in your life, and how are you going to spend that time? Are you going to do the same thing you've been doing for all these years, or are you going to decide, I want to experience something different?
Yeah, search for some new things to do. We originally were thinking maybe we'd find a little piece of land somewhere and build a cool tiny house on it and everything. And so, of course, I got into the YouTube rabbit hole, of videos about tiny homes, and then during the course of that, I came across some bus videos, and Jax and several other people out there, and Bob Wells's videos, of course, and all that. And so it was like, this is a different idea. Why don't we?
So you were the one that brought it up, though. You were like, honey, can we go live in a bus?
Yeah,
was that the conversation?
Well, I think
we were pretty much in line about the tiny home thing. But then
that was, but it was a future thing. Okay, it wasn't like far in the future. We were thinking a 5-year plan kind of thing, and we were looking for a way to not yet retire, but make a change before retirement. Do something else, And it wasn't that I hated my job or anything like that, but it's kind of a dead-end job, and I'd done it for a long time, and I was ready to do something different. Yeah. And we were kind of ready to kind of break out and maybe do something, start a business, or, maybe do something that was going to be more challenging and entrepreneurial.
And plus, again, doing 30 years of construction also has its aches and pains and everything
the physical
else.
toll.
You were talking earlier about, life expectancy, and I thought that was fascinating about especially in the trades, right?
Yeah. Like just somebody else posted recently on Facebook or something, and it was, a study came out recently that especially tradespeople, skilled tradesmen, if you wait until 65 to retire, the life expectancy was 67. and that's what ironically, I had said that to people when people ask, well, why are you guys doing this? It's like, well, how many people have I seen that they work and work and work and they retire and die, and it's like, that's just nuts, and so it's like, well, we're young enough now to still be able to hike and explore and climb and do things, and so it's like,
what's the flip side of that, though?
The other side was, if you retire between 50 and 55, the life expectancy was 80. But yeah, it's just, why not take advantage of it, while we're still young enough to really enjoy it, and
it's like time becomes the currency. It's not about the money anymore, because time is the currency, because you only have a finite amount, and so what are you going to do with it? I don't want to do the same thing with it that I was doing before.
Right. I know that you are a skilled craftsman, right? And I first saw you when you started working on other people's projects.
Yep.
And you came in with this big smile and this energy, and you walked away with this, whoa, this stuff, and I was just like, okay, this is cool, right? And then before I knew it, things happened, and you were just like, well, now I'm booked for a year.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, again, I had been watching Jax a lot and the initial planning for this, as well as quite a few other folks out there on the YouTubes, and and so when we were on our way out to Colorado for my niece's wedding, Labor Day weekend, I had been watching his videos, and he was saying how he was getting help on his cabinetry and blah blah blah, and it didn't look like there was any chance we were going to cross paths, and then there was something happened, there was some delays. And it was like, oh, he's going to be at Colorado Custom Coach Works in September, right when we're there. And I'm like, oh, well, let's just stop in, we'll just say hello and meet him. And,
I was all nervous. I wouldn't go in. I'm like, are you going? Because I can't go.
Oh, yeah. Literally, she stayed in the van while I went in and talked to him.
Little fangirl action.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
And I'm not a fangirl. And so I don't like... This is the weirdest thing, okay? For 2 years ago, for you to say that we're going to be having a YouTube channel and talking to people,
and living in a bus.
I am the word. I literally am so not down with that thing in so many ways, just because I'm kind of an introvert and I don't like.
We all are,
fame.
though, right?
Yeah.
I'm not. People think that you're just out for. I literally am not, and not. But the thing that I loved about this whole experience is Eric being recognized for how great of a craftsman he is.
Yes.
It's so great. I'm in menopause.
I love you too.
I'm in menopause right now. I'm crying all the time, so just don't take it personally.
Well, it was fun.
I'm fine. I'm not depressed. It is literally my hormones.
That was the thing. Doing remodeling and stuff. You kind of do the same sort of thing, and it's residential stuff, and and you can occasionally do some pretty interesting, creative things. But basically, you're just working for a client on a house, and it's what it is. And so this has been fun because I'm able to actually work out the designs with people and kind of break everything down and do the whole layouts with people and find out what they need and what works for them the best and what makes sense, and and it's just it's much more, it's such a great creative
and you're in an environment where nothing's square, right?
That's
nothing's predictable.
It's more of a challenge every time.
And we were talking earlier about what kind of wood to use, but this is probably too heavy and this is probably not durable enough, and,
right
well, we had what we had. It happened to be that was really light wood, so it worked to our benefit.
That's beautiful.
The cedar was great.
Well, speaking about that, we're going to play a little bit of footage for you, what this van looks like. So we'll be right back. Oh, I'm sorry, us. Be right back. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why people thrive out here, because I've been trying to figure out. I know not everybody does, right? I know there's a lot of people that make a huge emotional investment in this, and it just doesn't work out for them. But when you take a look at the benefits of minimalism, the studies for minimalism, the studies for being around nature and being around community, and then you start to look at people that thrive out here, and it's like, I no wonder, right?
It's got the elements, all the elements.
Yeah, and then in your particular case where you had this career, now you're in an environment where people who are just like, thank you, and you're able to take these skills and parlay it into something that people get choked up about, I think, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's been great because, again, I can pick and choose a few jobs, and I know I can make a decent amount of money. I mean, again, we're not rolling in dough or anything, but that's one thing about this. You don't need a lot of money. That's the beauty. You need enough for gas and your groceries and a few things, and you don't have to be throwing money at a mortgage or a big huge rent payment.
Yeah,
so,
you're not. Yeah.
So we can afford to get a few nice paying jobs, and then I can pitch in and help people that really need it. And I guess one of the things we learned from Bob Wells's videos in particular was that there is a large community out there that really got crushed in 08, 09 with the economy.
Yeah, a lot of people end up living in their vehicles.
Yeah, living in vans and all of these vehicles that. And so even just a simple little adjustment and a few cabinets and a few this or that can make a huge difference in their lives.
So to wrap things up, do you have any advice for people who are much like you, sort of sitting there going, God, I'm bored. What is, how do I know that this is right for me? Or, I mean, because you took a heck of a leap to do this, right?
Yeah.
And it seemed to work out. You seem to be thriving here.
Yeah.
We kind of were ducks to water with this. It's funny when we told our friends and stuff that we were going to do this, we were expecting the whole,
you're bananas.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you guys. I was like,
okay.
Like, oh, wow, okay, that was we didn't expect it a little bit more of a.
We expected a little more pushback, but
no,
all right.
I think and actually, I think one of the things Bob Wells' videos that again one of the things he always seems to say is just do it. Just go for it. And
you can always go back.
Because, like I said, we were originally looking at planning for down the road and blah blah blah, and then it was I ended up actually got laid off from my job, and so right after we bought the van, so it was kind of well, okay,
there you go.
I guess we're jumping on it full speed ahead now, and so.
And that was probably the best thing that could have happened.
It was fantastic. I mean, it was great because then it got us moving and got the job done, and then we made that commitment, and that's the biggest thing is you can do it. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's like again, do a lot of research.
IKEA and containers and whatever. If you can get it to a livable space, I get it that this is not, this is something that most people won't be able to achieve if they don't have a carpenter husband like me, or they're not a carpenter. But it's not really about that per se. It's about the experience of having the freedom to not do anything you don't absolutely want to do. If a lot of people out here, they do temporary jobs or they do seasonal jobs, and the difference between that is that you can get through a couple of months of doing something you don't necessarily like,
right? But
that you're not in a life sentence.
Yeah,
you're not going to be doing that and
then
hating it for the rest. And then you're free to do the next thing, and then you can, you get some time, and it's not just 2 weeks a year.
Just the fact that the things we have are all things that we pared down, and that's something that has meaning. That's something that has meaning. Everything is something that has a real meaning to us that we kept.
But that's something that people can do right now, regardless of their plans for the future. Is just embrace minimalism, right? Or get out in nature, or do something with community, or pick up a van or borrow one and get out and have an adventure.
You don't have to become this crazy nomad and live in the middle of the desert, or in the mountains or whatever.
Not like me.
There's. You don't never want to do this. Don't do this. It's horrible.
It is.
It's terrible. But you can do little things to just make yourself feel a little more free. To me, it is about the freedom.
So I think that about wraps it up. What was your channel again?
Wanderboom.
You got to check it out. You have to see this thing. You have to see the creative way that you installed the diesel heater. I just love that. So you got to check that out. And just finally, I went to Saddle Mountain. I really enjoyed it. Then I saw your video and I was like, where the hell was I? So you can check out that video too. But thank you so much for your time. I really had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. It was wonderful.
All right.
It's been wonderful.
Bye now.
See ya.